the government of Canada just recently announced a big change with regards to student visa application.
International students need to be prepared for life in Canada, and we have a responsibility to make certain that they are well supported when they come to Canada. So starting on January 1st of next year, in 2024, the financial requirement for study permits will be raised to reflect the current cost of living. And as such, a single applicant will need to show that they have $20,635 in funds to support themselves in Canada, moving up from $10,000, as I mentioned in French.
So starting January 1st, 2024, the cost of living financial requirement for any international student will be raised from $10,000 to $20,635. So what does this mean? What's the reason for this change, and how does this impact you and anyone you know that's trying to come here as a student in Canada? That's what we're going to talk about today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ryan and I'm an HR professional here in Canada, and this channel is all about helping new immigrants get ahead in life. But before anything else, just a little bit of disclaimer: I am not an immigration consultant, and this is purely my own research and my own opinion. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So the new policy is that starting from January 1st of 2024, they are going to increase the cost of living financial requirement from $10,000 to $20,635. So in fact, they actually haven't done this since 2000. That means it's been over 2 decades that they haven't increased this. And we're going to talk about the reason why they did this. But it has something to do with what they call LICO, L-I-C-O, which stands for Low Income Cutoff. You see, Low Income Cutoff is the minimum amount that you will need to be able to afford life here in Canada. Since 2000, the LICO has been gradually increasing, but the cost of living financial requirement for any student hasn't really changed. It was stuck at $10,000. So what's the reason why they did this? The first reason is to prevent exploitation and student vulnerability. You see, when there's an influx of students coming here and they are not well prepared financially, they tend to be desperate and find means to make an income, right? And unfortunately, there are some bad actors out there. I'm not saying all, but there's a few employers sketchy employers that's taking advantage of this. And so if you don't have enough funds to support yourself, it beats the purpose of you coming here to study and rather just being in desperate mode to survive, right? So that's one reason why they did this. The second reason is they want to crack down on those colleges and educational institutions who are not giving quality education, but just treating the whole student visa as a business. So they're more concerned about their profit, more towards the quality of education that they provide those students. There are a few colleges that are unfortunately doing it. And the last reason is, it allows students to be financially prepared with the cost of living here in Canada. Being in Canada is not cheap. You have to incorporate all your costs of living here, from your travel expenses, your rent, the food that you eat, groceries, utilities, all those add up. And that's what the Canadian government is trying to establish. So how does this impact you or anyone you know that is trying to get to Canada as a student? Well, the biggest one, of course, is it's going to be harder. Especially for those individuals that doesn't have enough funds or are not well off in terms of money. And it's also going to minimize the amount of students coming to Canada, because those people that can't afford this much will definitely have to save until they have enough money to be able to enroll and qualify for a student visa. And the other things actually I see as positives, because if you have a minimum amount of students coming here to Canada, the quality of education becomes better because there's lesser amount of students per institution. So they're more focused on the quality of education that they provide for that individual. Matching that with the federal government and provincial governments crackdown on those colleges to make their institutions the best in terms of quality education, then it's a benefit for that student. The other advantage for that is that, and I see this as a long-term thing, so when there's minimum students coming here, it becomes less competitive in the future, especially when those students are ready to join the workforce. So that's another advantage right there. And I believe that the biggest advantage for this, for the individual, is that they're just more financially prepared, because at least they have enough money to support them and their studies for a year here in Canada. And at the end, that money is yours anyway. It's not going to be taken away from you. So just keep it in the bank and at least you have that to support you. So in my opinion, I think that this new move from the government is just going to directly impact those individuals that are not financially well off, right? So those individuals that can't afford this much in terms of financial requirement in the beginning, those are going to be the ones that's going to be directly impacted with this. But I believe personally that I think it's better for those that can afford this, because like what I said earlier, it's your money anyways, right? So it will just lessen the stress of you looking for a job to afford your life here in Canada. So at least you can focus on your studies and attain your goals with lesser challenges, especially with financial. There you have it. I hope you like this video. If you have anything to add to our conversation, please go ahead and add it to the comments. I'm always excited to hear your opinion on this sensitive topic. And if you want to learn more about cost of living, I do have another video about cost of living here in Canada, and I'm sure you'll find that valuable as well. All right, thanks again for watching till the end of this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.